live, come in. It's Tuesday.
It is.
I had a bit of a morning today. We need to talk about my morning.
Yes.
Sorry to
You
jump
had a
in.
very exciting morning.
I had a
so
very
you deserve
exciting morning, so I deserve it. So, I have been a fan of Ben Whishaw since 2004 when I saw him be the youngest ever Hamlet basically ever in the history of the West End. And Trevor Nunn, who is a renowned Shakespearean director and also did some shows you might have heard of called Cats.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of either of those.
Nope.
Anyway, he picked Ben Whishaw right out of RADA to do Hamlet. So I saw him do that. I've been a fan ever since. You'll probably know him from playing Q in the James Bond films. He was in Spectre, he was in Skyfall. You know, he's on Broadway right now in The Crucible with Saoirse Ronan.
Yes,
Did I say that right? Saoirse. I practiced all morning. And Sophie Okonedo. Anyway, it was absolutely amazing. So I did a one-on-one interview with Ben Whishaw, which will be up on the site next week. Hello, Justin from New Jersey. Welcome, come in. So there we are. That was my morning.
She is so excited.
Yeah, I really am, Henry. I really am excited. Hello, Leeds. It's near your bedtime? No, it's only 4 hours at the moment. It's fine. It's not near your bedtime. Right, we need to talk about Bam for Ham.
Oh yeah, which was very exciting yesterday, tuning in live to watch Hamilton's performance at the White House.
Yeah.
So we got to see a couple numbers on the live stream, and then they got a much fuller concert in person. But yeah, it was fantastic. And also, like, afterwards, the White House tweeted that video of President Obama. And
with the flashcards.
Yeah, freestyle rapping with Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is... Never thought I would see that, but I'm so glad I did, right?
Yeah, we love it. Can you imagine President Donald Trump doing that?
You wouldn't get that with anyone else other than...
Slightly terrifying, slightly terrifying. Okay, so there's a new Ask Star up, isn't there?
Yes, so we have an Ask Star with Josh Segarra and Anna Villafañe from On Your Feet.
On Your Feet. If you've not seen On Your Feet yet, go. It's a really fun night out at the theatre. It does exactly what it says on the packet.
Yeah, and you know the tunes.
You know the tunes.
Now you can learn more about the story.
If you don't like audience participation, don't sit on the aisle.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Or at least practice your congaing beforehand.
Yeah, you might, yes. Just watch out there.
Yeah, and speaking of congaing, doing the conga, Anna Villafañe says that she likes the conga to NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys, which is a fun tidbit that I learned from that video. So.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Right. Kirill Kulish, who was a Billy Elliot Tony winner, he was one of the boys who got a Tony Award way back when. Billy Elliot, one of those Tony Awards. He's now all grown up, and he's on Dancing with the Stars. Anyway, we've got an interview there today with Lindsay, who's new to the editorial team. She did an interview with him. That's up on the site. And he talks about talking to Derek Hoff for a few tips here and there. And he also said he wants to come back to Broadway, but probably as a choreographer.
That'd be exciting.
That'd be exciting.
There are a lot of people that start as dancers on Broadway and then move to choreography, like Spencer Liff, for instance, recently with Spring Awakening. Yeah.
Now, the Disaster opening night, so Disaster is a musical on Broadway, as you know. It was a very starry opening night with lots of Broadway favourites, and there was a pop poll that was done.
Yes, so Beth Stevens on the red carpet asked everyone to give us a taste of their favourite 70s anthems, because, as you know, in Disaster, all of the music is from the 70s. So if you want to hear people like Leslie Margarita singing Gloria Gaynor and Donna Summer, watch that video.
It's hysterical. Wicked. It's a small show that everyone might have heard of. That has now grossed more than $1 billion.
For just the Broadway production, too. I mean, there have been countless productions around the world, 2 touring, 2 sit-downs only in the US, but just the Broadway production alone has grossed $1 billion in 13 years or 12 years now?
Yeah, and also you do the grosses every week. It sits there in the top 5 every single week.
Yeah, there are 5 shows that you can count on as being the top 5. The order might change a little bit here and there, but Wicked's consistently in the top 5 by gross.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the 2 other shoys to do so, a show called Phantom of the Opera.
Never heard of it.
Right? And The Lion King.
Not heard of that much. No.
Didn't your dad write The Lion King?
Yeah, Dad wrote The Lion King. Yeah, that's right. I think Elton John wrote Phantom. You're absolutely right. Okay, moving on. New vlogger. You wrote this.
Yeah, so this came out last night, but in case you haven't seen it, Jennifer Damiano is officially our new vlogger on Broadway.com. So she will grab her video camera and show us all around backstage life at American Psycho. Which begins performances soon, so you'll get a little bit of like the moving in process at the theater, maybe a little bit of tech previews. She'll take us through opening night and afterwards, so you get the whole like spectrum of like the goings on of the show building up to its big night.
I interviewed that team for the meet and greet, and I think it looks really interesting. And by the sounds of it, the designer also designs for Beyonce and all these big tours, so I think visually it's going to be like nothing you've seen on Broadway except perhaps Curious Incident. I think
Okay.
it might have that sort of interactive sort of element,
Right.
or that feel, immersive feel is the word I'm looking for.
And so that's called Killing Time,
and that
which I believe
begins-
is a number that she has in the show.
And it begins on Thursday.
Yes.
Right, I think everyone's bored of me.
I don't think that's possible, but
I
we do have a very special guest today.
Absolutely, so I will leave you.
Okay, so today we have Colman Domingo, who is the playwright of Dot, currently at the Vineyard Theater. It's a fantastic show. Check it out off Broadway. I believe we might be switching location real fast, or are we? No, okay, we're going to stay here on this couch. So everyone, please welcome Colman Domingo.
Is there a smattering of applause or anything?
They're all clapping.
Is that claps?
There you go.
Thank you.
Look at all these people.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. So good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. I only show up when there's applause. You know, that's an acting.
There you go. You're getting applause and you're getting lots of
Hi,
hearts too.
how are
So
you?
that's great.
Hey there.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Doing
Thanks for
well.
stopping by.
Thank you. I'm good to be here.
So for our Periscope viewers out there, why don't you tell them a little bit about what Dot is, the characters we meet in it?
Sure. Dot is a play that is inspired by a few friends of mine dealing with a parent who had Alzheimer's. And it's all about the struggle that a family has about caring for one another, caring for the person who's in the center of this devastating disease. And really just thinking about the choices we made, memories. It's a play about memory as well, in every single way. I really like exploring the memory of the neighborhood, the memory of the way things used to be, or what you may still long for. And then how does that play with how you move on into your future? And so there's a cast of really bold, interesting, colorful characters, and they're all in this little stew that I've made called Dot. And it's playing until the 24th of March. It's on the second extension, which is just next Thursday or something like that. And but we also have for all you our theater folks, we have a Monday night performance at 7 o'clock. That's Monday, so that's cool. So everybody who's in shows, Audrey, you can come. Norm, you can come. You ought to all come. So just get your ticket, because you may see some Broadway favorites in the audience. Exactly. That's one way to sell it out, right?
Just promising.
I just promise Audra McDonald will be there. Audra, I'm promising that you'll be there Monday night on your day off from Shuffle Along. Happy first preview, by the way.
So the show, it deals with very serious issues and human problems that we face in families.
Yeah.
But there's a very light element in it too. There's a lot of humor.
Yeah.
So how do you find the balance between the two of those?
I think with anything, as we know, with anything that's devastating, there must be some levity, and just a little spoonful of sugar to help it all go down, for real. Because especially when you're dealing with topics such as death or illness, and I think the idea of having if I just dealt with the reality of just the devastating disease on its own, I don't think it would be palatable as well. And also, what I've experienced as I've watched people deal with this, there's a lot of dark humor that goes on. I've read essays on someone, they had to make a game for themselves and play with their mother to get her to eat her dinner by calling her Liza Minnelli. And saying, Liza, remember when you're playing, the form that you used to love this food, and then the mother would be a little confused, and then she'd eat her meal. But just the tools that families that are useful for them to survive and try to figure it out together. So that's why there's a lot of comedy in it as well. And that's what makes it all go down.
So this marks a reunion for you with Susan Stroman, who's directing. This actually marks her first play as opposed to a musical that she's directing.
I feel very proud of that.
So you work with her, obviously, with the Scottsboro Boys.
Yes, Susan Stroman is one of my dearest collaborators. We created, this wonderful, remarkable thing called the Scottsboro Boys together from really nothing. Just a lot of ideas, and really we had an amazing script, and we had amazing music by Kendra Nab, but then it was about jumping off the ledge together and creating something new and fresh and devastating. And so from that experience, I knew that when I was creating this piece, and the idea of the Vineyard Theater wanting to produce it, I just thought it would be perfect for Susan Stroman to direct this, because I know her heart, and I know her detail, and she's phenomenal at whatever she does. And so the idea, it didn't scare me at all, the fact that she's never directed a play. I thought that was exciting to for someone for her to see this, and for it to be seen with fresh eyes by a musical theater director. But now I think that's going to be challenged. Now I think every playwright's going to line up to have her direct their play. I hope so. Because she's amazing to work with in every single way.
So she's known for these, incredible bright, flashy musicals,
yeah.
lots of dance spectacle.
$1 million
producers, Bullets Over Broadway recently. So I know with this play, there's a lot of choreography in the sense of like movement. Like
Yes.
the scene that comes to mind for me is.
I'm so glad that people notice that it's really well choreographed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like for me, it was like the scene where Dot's putting together the exercise for the family to understand what she's going through.
Yeah.
And you just there's so much movement all around.
It's organized chaos.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But then there also is like a specific dance
Yeah.
portion too. So is that something that you envisioned for the show originally, or did that sort of like evolve once Susan was on board?
That came from in my writing of the script,
Okay.
and then so the idea of I was even more excited knowing that dance would be in Stroh's hands, because I always wanted to be a bit of magic in the middle of the play, because it is a very devastating moment, and it is very this is when the matriarch is really believes that her son-in-law is her dead husband, and so I think the idea for me is like it's a really careful dance that we're playing with there. And so for me, I wanted it to be as sweeping and as lush as possible. I wanted it, we even talked about what she's wearing in that moment. Before, I think the costume designer, we had conversations about her, she was just wearing something very simple. And I thought, no, she's gotta be in sort of like silk, beautiful, pajamas with a long robe, because that can transform and become this beautiful sweeping dance. She should feel like Cinderella at the ball at that moment. And then we devastate you right in the next breath by lifting you up to all that fairy tale of where her mind is. And then, it's kind of like, the 1-2 punch that I like to do. And then I kind of punch you in the gut right after, lift you up and take you down. But keep you on that roller coaster, and I think that's
yeah. I mean, I think the audience is along for it the entire time too.
Yeah,
and you sort of feel the things that she does in that moment.
I hope so. Did you feel that way?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good job.
Great, thank you so much.
So you've gotten a lot of love on here so far for Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, cool.
Which comes back.
Comes back
in April, right?
April 10th.
Great.
April 10th, we come back. We come roaring back. There's a new promo that just came up today that I even was just like, oh my God, that's what we did? That's what we're doing. It looks like so intense, and it's intense every single episode. I can't wait for people to see this. It's cool.
So do you feel that intensity, like did you feel it beforehand, like knowing that you're part of this cultural phenomenon? Like, was that something that you were aware of going in?
I wasn't aware of it at all, to be honest. I was never a Walking Dead fan. I had no idea, even though I have friends who are on it. It was one of those things where I just I auditioned for it, and I thought, I'm not going to get this. I don't know anything about zombie culture. There's no way. And then, but when I read the script, it was written like, it was in Shakespeare. And I really thought, oh, this is really cool. It's well written. It's written like theater. And we have a guest coming in. There's somebody waving and looking at the door. I think it's Paul. Is it Paul? It is.
Hi.
Hey, we got a guest star coming in here. Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
Are you guys, how's it going?
I just decided to, be
Hi, how you doing?
and hang out.
Hi, everybody.
I thought,
Oh, we have another special
How are you,
guest.
man?
Hey, man.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
What do we have here? We're on Periscope. Hey,
Hey!
how you doing?
Periscope.
You never know who's going to pop in.
Periscope down. This is live, right?
Yeah.
Like, so people are just watching right now? I'm like my dad with his cell phone. Trying to
You're like, is this it? You're like, way too close.
I'm like, what do we do? You do it.
Yo, this ain't
You never know
yours.
who's going to stop by.
You never know.
I don't want to interrupt.
Sure.
Bye-bye. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Is this your office, Paul?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is fancy.
Can I get a picture the size of Darren Criss in here?
It's huge, right? What were we talking about? I don't know what we were talking about before.
Walking Dead.
We're talking about Walking Dead. But anyway, no, I had no idea about the phenomenon that it was, but I'm so excited to be a part of it, especially with a character like Victor Strand, who is mysterious, and I constantly don't know whether or not he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't even know. I think, I just deal with him moment to moment and let his actions speak for themselves, I think it's one way to do it.
So you also, I read you come from a journalism background?
Yeah, I do.
How
I should be
does
sitting
that...
here doing what you're doing. That was the dream, yeah, exactly.
How does that sort of play into your playwriting style?
Well, someone told me that that after they saw my play, A Boy and a Soul, someone said, you know what, you're an archivist. And I didn't understand that. I'm like, why? Well, what was that? I said, well, you're really interested in telling stories. And the way you tell stories is like, someone who's really just an observer, like a journalist.
Right.
I really thought that I was going to be a photojournalist and go, in war-torn countries and take photos. That's what I wanted my life to be about. And then somehow it's turned into acting and directing and playwriting. But I believe it's all part of the same narrative. It's all about wanting to tell stories, tell other people's stories. Use what you have to, to shine a light on someone else. So I think that's why. And I think, as you can tell, I probably speak very fast. And in my plays, people speak very fast. And people, there's language happening on top of one another. And I think that makes sense to me. And so I write the way, and I think like a journalist just spits it right out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned The Boy and His Soul, and then also Wild with Happy.
Yeah.
And so both of those, which you wrote, you also appeared in.
Yeah.
Which is not the case in Dot. You will not see Colman in Dot.
No.
How does that feel to be on the other side? Is it a relief? Do
it
you
is.
like have that urge to get up there?
No, I don't have an urge to get up there. I've never been a person I'm like, that's why I direct and I write as well. I'm not that actor that has to be on stage all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I feel like I have a bit more anxiety when it comes to being on stage. It's like I'm rehearsing. Anytime I'm on stage, there's much more anxiety. This, I feel much more empowered, and I can just really let the work happen. I can watch. I can be a part of the collaborative team, which is awesome. But I am in the play in some way because there's an offstage character that's mentioned, and it's actually my middle name. So for me, I put myself on stage in some way, but I'm just hiding in the corners in the back. Yeah, that's my own little secret. But now it's your secret. Not just giving it away.
It's him.
Spoiler, it's me, just
So Michelle just asked, do you have any advice for aspiring playwrights?
Advice for aspiring playwrights, I think to write, to develop your own style in many ways. I think try not to emulate anyone else. I think I've become a playwright by just doing my own thing, by just, I think, trusting that I know story. As we know, writing is rewriting. Write and create because you have to, and to just do it. Don't ask to do it, don't ask anyone's permission, and write. And the one thing, and it's consistent that I keep saying, is write as if it will never ever be produced. That's the only way that it can could be authentic and be authentically what it's supposed to be. Because I think there's a trend sometimes with playwrights, especially about getting produced. If you're just looking for the production, of course it's charming for a 2-character play in a bench and a couple of cubes. You want that to get produced, right? But the idea of writing a play with 7 actors in it, with so many different demographics, could sound daunting, immediately if you thought about it getting produced. So just don't think about it, just write it and be honest with it from the experience that you know. Write.
That's good to know, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and so some people have been, sharing their experiences, like the personal experiences on here with the themes of the show.
Okay.
What is it that you hope audiences take away from Dot?
I hope people take away. I hopefully, as a playwright, I hope to just raise questions. I don't want to give anyone any solutions because I think something like dealing with aging or illness or death, I can't offer solutions at all. I think it's just I can raise questions on how do you take care of one another. Am I being my best self? And so you can hopefully I've set up such strong characters where people can latch on and say, oh, that's me and my family. And oh, but those are also my faults. And maybe I have some work to do on that. And that way I can be in better service to another person. So hopefully I hope people just learn to move beyond themselves a bit more. That's about it. But that's all I think hopefully any theater would like to do.
Right.
For you to walk up and say, oh, maybe I can be a little bit of a better person.
Yeah, that's part of life.
And we did our job. That's it,
Mm-hmm. Well, Colman, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been great.
Thank you.
So everyone go catch Dot at the Vineyard Theater through March 24th.
Yeah.
And then you can catch him on screen in Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes, and also, if you tune in Monday night, you can catch me on Lucifer on Fox.
Oh, that's right, you have a guest spot coming up.
Guest spot coming up right there, exactly.
That's exciting. So tune into that, and we will see you all later. Bye, guys.
Ciao.